Welcome everyone, I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game. Um, for you guys, this probably hasn't been a while, but for me it has. I've been letting the backlog catch up, and even now, there's still like 3 playthroughs I haven't uploaded yet. Um, I did, I believe the last one I did was Arkham Horror, and I tried to dabble in a couple of other custom campaigns. One of them, unfortunately, was unfinished, so I decided to scrap it. And then the other one, I decided to go ahead and I kind of just decided to focus on other things, let the backlog catch up. Also, to kind of buy time for the Drowned City Investigator expansion to come out, which, as of recording this, it has come out, and I do have my own physical copy of it. Of course, the module itself has been updated with all of the cards as well. It does add a few new female investigators, though I'm probably not going to mess with them anytime soon. I think, Gloria is probably the only one I'm most comfortable with trying out. The one that can be either a Mystic or a Seeker, I don't intend on playing because I don't really care about sealing tokens. And then the new Guardian character that has one arm, I'm still uncertain exactly how I'm going to play her. I know she's supposed to be event focused, but she ain't no Nathaniel Cho, so we'll see. I'll have to kind of figure out what I'm going to do with her. In any case, I am going to go ahead and continue with custom campaigns. You may have gotten a little spoiler there, but here it is. It's Half-Life. I believe this is made by The Beard, who made a number of various custom campaigns, and this one is pretty decent. I think theme-wise, it's kind of a miss, mainly because the name, it says Half-Life, but it's actually Half-Life 2. That's what it's based off of. I wish it was based off Half-Life 1 instead. But besides that, the mechanics and stuff are pretty straightforward. As always, with a custom campaign, I'm probably going to make mistakes, and I'm probably not going to be able to look up very much stuff because questions about custom campaigns tend to be far fewer than the actual standard ones. Anyway, this is my second attempt to actually start this playthrough. I originally did one with Amanda Sharp and Lily Chen, and I wanted to try out things like eventually the upgraded Rapture, which was one of the new cards that came out. But unfortunately, the weakness I got out of Amanda Sharp was, I think, an offer you can't refuse, the one that you have to spend 5 money or things get much, much worse. And with how fast I cycle through Amanda's deck, it was essentially, in order for me to do a playthrough with it, I would essentially have to just not spend money. I would have to just not spend money and hope I don't, run out of money from all the the deck cycling, which is doable, but not particularly fun. So I decided to go ahead and scrap it. Also, on the very first scenario, I drew it, paid it, and then on the very first card I drew when I shuffled the deck after cycling through it was it again, and I was 1 resource short. So I pretty much rage quit. Anyway, what I am going to do, though, is instead of Amanda, I'm going to use Minty Fan. So, Minty Fan's weakness I drew was Indebted, so I start with 2 fewer resources. The Minty Fan deck is going to be isn't super expensive, so this is not the end of the world. And as for the deck, I thought I played her again recently, but apparently not, at least according to all the footage I've looked over and all my previous LP decks. But yeah, I haven't played her since, I think it was second Carcosa run or something like that. So we're going to be trying her again, and I've long since kind of fleshed out the deck a bit more. Probably the biggest change is the addition of Analysis, which is practice, and it can be committed for a wild. But the more important thing is you can drop clues to essentially redraw Chaos tokens, which I definitely need to deal with the weakness here, the King Yellow. Minty Fan is definitely a character I enjoy. It's just unfortunate that her weakness is so debilitating. It takes up a hand slot and makes it so you have to commit a lot of cards to get rid of it. Speaking of a lot of cards, so yeah, we have Unexpected Courages, True Understandings, Practice Makes Perfect, of course, so we can go with all the practice cards we have. We do have access to Red Splash, which our Red Splash is going to be at a crossroads for card draw. We got a couple Winging It's for some clue compression. And then the big thing is this Nautical Chart, which is one of the new cards. Nautical Chart is an item tome tool. Takes up a hand slot, costs 3 to play, commits for a intelligence. While Nautical Charts is in your hand, you may perform the activate ability, and if you do, discard it instead of exhausting it. So not only are these assets, there is one for attacking, evading, and investigating, and they can essentially be played as events from your hand for the most part, if you need to. Let's see. And I guess if you play it from your hand, it doesn't cost any resources. But the real reason why I have it here is actually to play it. And its ability is action, exhaust, investigate. You get +1 book. And if you succeed, you can discard a card to get an additional clue. So this is essentially a red fingerprint kit that uses your own cards as the supply rather than supply points. And I think it's pretty good. It's definitely a card that Cluving survivors definitely needed. That being said, out of the female characters, there's really only 2 that can really use it. Minty Fan is one of them, and the other one is Windy. But Windy already has clue compression through the use of Pilfer. But if you didn't want to spend a lot of money on pilfers and things like that and relying on events, Nautical Charts is definitely a way to get some clue compression on her as well. Besides that, I do have a research librarian. It is a tome, so this is just another way to get it out, get it into my hands sooner. We do have in the thick of it, or not in the thick of it, yeah, in the thick of it, where we take 1 physical and 1 mental trauma to start off with to get 3 XP. 3 XP is just towards At a Crossroads and a Pathfinder. We do have some Burning the Midnight Oils for some economy. We do have Deep Knowledges for card draw, though I don't like using it because of the curse tokens. We have a Mouse Mask just kind of as a placeholder, and then we have Empirical Hypothesis, which is just here for additional card draw, really. I'm not sure how much I'll actually be using it. And then, of course, we got some shortcuts for additional mobility. So, yeah. The idea, of course, is just to gradually get the various practice cards and clue compression cards like Sharp Vision as soon as possible. This is also a deck where I don't intend on picking up the Necronomicon or Segment of Onyx, so you won't have to worry about me just spamming Pin of the Queen over and over again. There's also, what are they called? The Specialist cards are some of the new new neutral cards that were added to the game. Minty Fan does have one that's pretty decent, which I'll probably try to grab, possibly. Anyway, that's pretty much it for Minty Fan. Like I said, the deck is pretty similar to the previous. Actually, I don't think it is that similar, but we're not using Dream Diary for this one, and we're just going to be focusing purely on Cluving and no flexing at all. All right, Lily Chen. We are going to be using the combat discipline, so she's going to start with 5 combat. One of the new cards right off the bat is the Great Work, Divide and Unite. It's a Pact Science asset, permanent, limit 1 per deck, purchase only at deck creation. You earn 1 additional experience point after each scenario of this campaign. If you are defeated, you are usurped by the Homunculus and replaced with it, and your signature cards are replaced with a random basic weakness. You flip this card and replace the Investigator with it for the remainder of the campaign. So what you can do is you can switch it to the other version, which is this. It's a Construct Scion, 2 to all stats. Can't be chosen as an Investigator. Can I add or remove or upgrade cards from your deck? And you get +2 skill value for anything involving spell cards. If you are defeated, you are killed, and then the Elder Sign is draw 1 card. For the most part, this is a half a Karen's Obel. That's pretty much what it is. Overall, I think it's pretty good. It is a science, so Kate Winthrop could use this. I think it's a good way to shore up certain characters that are that struggle and have, as long as you can keep them alive, get some extra XP out of them. Safina, Safina, and a lot of the rogue a lot of the rogue investigators can actually get both Karen's Obel and Great Work, which would essentially give them 3 extra XP for every scenario. The only bad part is the Great Work, just like Karen's Obel, is unique, which means only one in 2-hand, only one of them is going to get the benefit, and a lot of female investigators can actually use this card. There are a lot of mystics, a lot of people with Mystic Splash, and one person that has Science Splash. So it is what it is. We do have Down the Rabbit Hole and In the Thick of It as well, just to help shore things up. Our weakness for this one is self-destructive, which is pretty rough on Lily Chen, but I do have ways to heal, so it's not the end of the world. The In the Thick of It experience, I put 1 into Runic Axe to get glory, so I have ways to heal myself and draw extra cards. And then the rest of it I spent on a Sweeping Kick and a Ever Vigilant. This deck is probably almost the same as the last one we played with Lily Chen. There are some new cards that I can try out in the future, but for the most part, this is mostly going to be the same. I also may try to build things in a different direction, but yeah, it's essentially all combat. We do have some Deny Existences, some Mortar Protections. We also have some Drawn to the Flames to help do some clooving. And we do have a couple of Fearlesses just to have some extra horror healing and things like that. And then the main thing, of course, is the Stand Togethers and the Wolf Mask. Our primary focus, of course, is just going to be using the Runic Axe, and then eventually our Enchanted Blades will probably become Brandeth Gathagas. And of course, eventually we'll upgrade our Pete Cops to level 2 and go to town. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'll go ahead and read the introduction for Half-Life. The way ahead is dark for the moment. What seems to you a sacrifice is merely to us an oscillation. We do not fear the interval of darkness. We are a tapestry woven of vortescence. It is the same for you if only you could see it. How many are there in you? Whose hopes and dreams do you encompass? Could you but see the eyes inside your own, the minds in your mind, you would see how much we share. We are you, Freeman. You are us. All right. So new rules. We got teleport. This triggers at the end of the round, not during the enemy phase. There are both enemy and treachery cards that can have this keyword, and essentially the way they work is enemies will disengage from you and immediately move to the next location on their little sequence. And if they run out of if one of the locations doesn't exist, you skip it and keep going until you find one that you can go to. Also, if you get to the end of it, it just loops back around. It's very interesting. Also, there's Unstable. Unstable is an effect on locations, usually. What it does is anytime Doom is placed on that location, including the location itself, it triggers the Unstable effect. So it's kind of like Haunted, but triggers only when Doom's placed on its location. Also, if a location is quote-unquote unstable, it can also trigger certain effects. It being unstable is it's classified as unstable as long as it has at least one unstable effect on it, either on this location itself or something is on that location that gives it an unstable effect. There's also consequences, which in this the explanation is what's it do? Who knows? It's a bit of a mystery. I kind of know what it does. I played very, very conservatively when I first played this blind. I tried to make my consequences as low as possible. I'm probably going to be a little bit more loose with it on this playthrough and see how it goes. Besides that, so let's go and dive into the prologue. Day Unknown 201, Citadel Administrative City Center, City 17. A dark screen lights and fills with static. As this picture smooths, a horrible visage clarifies, bloated and alien with strange devices attached to it and embedded in it. It hisses and growls in unearthly tones, but the human before the screen reacts routinely. The white-bearded man adjusts his suit jacket, smiling confidently. I understand your frustration in light of the recent incidents, but this call concerns a much more beneficial turn of events. It's only a matter of time until his meddling becomes a significant problem once again, so I took the initiative to contact a skilled specialist. The man turns and extends his hand, opening the screen's view to another figure behind him, bizarre and repulsive and no less alien than the entity on the other side of the screen. The bloated creature looses a string of painfully loud noises at the sight, but the man only lowers his head with a slight flinch. I am aware of the Combine's position toward non-member species, but collaboration is the first step towards incorporation. Besides, their compensation is quite acceptable, considering all that we stand to lose if he should interfere again. Wouldn't you agree? Silence lingers but for the ambient sound of tremendous machinery all around. At last, the creature on the monitor speaks again, this time in a more measured tone. The man's smile returns as he nods along. Of course, I will oversee the operation personally and will inform you once our new associates have taken the first steps. The screen blackens in an instant and the alien agent exits to begin its work. Alone now in the administration room, the white-bearded man smiles a much darker smile. Gather the tablet and Elder Thing token and randomly pick one of them. Oh, I also need to set the difficulty. We'll be playing on easy as usual. The highest token is a -2 for now. And yeah. Alright, so we're just going to hit this, and then hit this, and draw. Okay, tablet. If you pick the tablet, add it to the chaos back for the remainder of the campaign. In the campaign log, record that the combined have enlisted the Yithian forces. Okay, we'll go ahead and add this tablet and be good to go. All right, and then after that, it's just straight into Scenario 1, Anomalous Materials. So my experience for my own personal playthrough of this, I think I went with, who was it? I think it was Winifred and Patrice. I think I did Patrice and Winifred for this on my personal playthrough. And it was actually kind of rough, simply because there's a lot of combat in this game. Like, even for an Arkham game, it has lots of combat. And I was not super prepared for that. That being said, it was still kind of doable, especially once I got, more experience and all that good stuff. In any case, I'm hoping this will be pretty casual and easy to get through, because I'm trying to get back to the swing of things and try out some new cards. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I'm the Depressed Dealer. This was Arkham Horror the card game, with Mint T Fan and Lily Chen going through Half-Life. I'll see you guys next time.